Hi, James from the 11 Plus Tutors. Today what I'm going to talk about is quite a big stumbling block for a lot of kids early in their maths journey, adding fractions. Now usually kids at school, they start by adding two fractions with the same bottom number. So you keep the bottom the same, and you just add the two top ones. So that would be 3/4. But this is the thing that kids need to move on to, which is fractions with different bottom numbers. So this top number is known as the numerator, the bottom number is the denominator. Okay, so we can see here that we can't actually do it at the moment because we're trying to add two different denominations of fraction. So what we need to do is convert this into an equivalent fraction so it matches this one. So what we can do is say, well, what's the smallest number that 4 and 2 both go into? And the smallest number they would both divide exactly into is 4. 4 would go into 4 once, and 2 would go into 4 twice. So what we do is we say, I get kids to write this on initially when they're starting out. What you do, this is really important, what you do to the bottom, you must do to the top to maintain its integrity as an equivalent fraction. So we do it for this one. What did we do to 2 to get the 4? We multiplied it by 2. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. And I get kids to write this on. Okay? I say to kids, never miss any of this out. Always start by writing the question. Never skip any steps, no matter how pointless you think it might be. Always follow the steps and you won't go wrong. And then it's just a matter of, so that 4 times 1 was 4, 2 times 2 was 4. So now we've got them over the same bottom number. That's 1. We didn't convert that to an equivalent fraction. This one now, as an equivalent fraction in quarters, would actually be 2/4. So what we do now is add the top two numbers. So the process is, we find the smallest number that the bottom two numbers would both go into exactly, and then we say, how many times did I need to multiply it to get that? What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. How many times did I need to multiply it to get that? What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. Then we just deal with the tops. And at the end, the child may need to cancel this down. You know, you might end up with, just for example, you could end up with 6/8. That would cancel down to 3/4 because 3 goes into 6 twice. Sorry, 2, I do apologise. 2 goes into 6 3 times, 2 goes into 8 4 times. So that would cancel down to 3/4. And I think the positive news for kids is, when we're considering all of the operations with fractions, if you can add fractions, you can take away. It's exactly the same process for taking away. It's just at the end, you take the two top numbers instead of add them, but it's exactly the same process. Multiply is really easy. All you do is multiply top numbers and bottom numbers. I'll cover that in a future video. Divide, well, I'm going to do a video on that. It's so weird, it's actually easy. When a kid can do this, most of their journey in fractions, most of their troubles in fractions are over actually when they've got to this point of understanding this. So that's really good news. Are fractions a thing in the 11 plus? Definitely. Do they come up every year? Yes. I would be amazed if I saw an 11 plus paper without fractions. It's a maths fundamental. I do hope you've enjoyed this quick video. Please leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and click on notifications. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.